welcome to my channel. Today I want to do a video about how to film yourself. I am thinking about pumping up my Instagram account a little bit right now and trying to really make it a little bit more attractive and interesting. I've let that slide a little bit over the past couple of years. So to kind of inspire me and help inspire you, today's video is going to be all about how to get a great video of yourself doing aerial and dance. These are going to be really simple, basic tips. I'm going to be filming this entirely in my not gigantic and fancy apartment. So if I can make it work in my small living room, you can make it work in pretty much any space. Just a quick reminder before we get started to please subscribe to my channel for lots of other aerial content, from tutorials to performance videos and vlogs, plus a really great community of people. And also it really helps me out, so don't forget to hit that subscribe button. This is how my living room normally looks. I've got my little knickknacks, I've got my decorations because I like vintage pretty things, as you can probably tell. So my first step towards making today's video is going to be cleaning out my space. I want to have the simplest space behind me that I possibly can, trying to get as close to a blank, solid colored background as I possibly can. If you have something that's really beautiful in itself, like a view of beautiful nature or a mural or a really cool paint job on a wall or something that's beautiful in itself and is not going to be super distracting from your video, then definitely go ahead and use that. Those kind of things are great. But because my space is just sort of standard living room, I'm gonna get it as close to a blank, solid colored background as I can, so that it's just sort of a background to my video. It's not featured in the video as much as I am. I have cleared out my space. Even though it's not a flat blank wall, it's pretty much the same color and it's fairly neutral to look at. And I have moved all of my stuff out into the hallway. This may look complicated, but it actually only took me 2 minutes. I put on a song while I was doing this and the song's not even over yet. So it's literally 2 minutes to do. And then I just move it back in when I'm done filming. It leaves me with this neutral background, so it's well worth doing. I've got up my hoop and my aerial A-frame, and I've put it as far back in the room as I possibly can because I want to have the maximum amount of space between my camera and the hoop, just so I have more options about how wide to make my shot. It can be a challenge in this space because I only have so far that I can put my camera away from the hoop, so it does sometimes get a little bit difficult to fit my whole body in. If you are interested in using a rig like this, an A-frame rig, I made a whole video about that, which I will link in the description and on the top of your screen right now. This is how I train at home on a regular basis, and it's honestly not that difficult to set up and use. Moving on to the only equipment that I use, and again, this is not necessary. I have this little tiny tripod that I bought for about 10 euros, I think. It's just cheap plastic. All it does is sit up and let me angle my camera, and that's all you need. You do not need a big, crazy, fancy tripod to do, the basic kind of videos that we're doing here. It also has this little attachment. This is how I attach my phone to it. So if you don't have a tripod and you don't want to spend any money, this is my completely free life hack that I use almost every day. To set this up and just make sure that I'm getting a good view of my hoop, I'm just gonna put my phone on selfie mode. There I am, hey. And then I'm going to set it on my computer screen and adjust the angle until I see the shot that I want. So this looks like a pretty good angle. I can see my whole hoop and a bit of my rig. And then I'm going to take my phone and scoot it to something to mark where it is, with maybe the edge of this little black part. That way I know that I'm putting my phone in exactly the same place every time. Then I'm going to take it off of selfie mode and change to the front camera and put it back exactly the same place that it was. The lens is almost in the same place, so I know I'm getting the same shot. This way you can just keep putting your phone back onto your computer and leave your computer at the same angle, and you don't have to worry about adjusting every time you take your phone off. This is my light. I bought this off Amazon for about 35 euros. You can also get them from AliExpress for a bit cheaper. It's just a basic LED light that also does colors. Be warned that if you get the very cheap version, which is what I have here, when it comes, it does not have a plug attached a lot of the time. A lot of the very cheap versions will send you literally a wire with like the insides of the wire sticking out. But all you have to do is go to your local hardware store and get one of these plugs. I will unplug it so you can see. It opens up with a screwdriver. There's 3 little clips in there that you clip onto the ends of the wire that are sticking out of here. And then you close it back up and plug it in the wall and you're ready to go. I have 4 different lights like this. You don't need 4, I'm a light maniac. I have 4 lights like this and they all have this little plug and I use them all the time and I've never had a problem with it. When I got my first light like this and it had no plug on the end, I had a little panic, and then I got on YouTube and just searched like, what do I do to add a plug to an LED light? And there are a lot of videos that will just show you exactly how to put on a plug like this. It takes 3 minutes. Anybody can do it. All you need is a screwdriver and the little attachment. The light for 35 euros, and I have the plug for another 5 euros. And I have a usable, nice light. I also have my extension cord so that I can put my light different places in the room and move it around and play with different effects. I make sure to always film myself with the front camera and never the selfie mode, because the front camera, or the camera that's not on the screen of your phone, the other camera, the one that's on the back where your hand is, that camera is generally a much better camera on almost all phones. And if you use the selfie mode, you get a lot more blur. It's really difficult for it to focus with fast moving movements, like with a spin or with a drop or whatever you're doing in the air. So you're gonna get a much sharper, cleaner video if you film with the front camera of your phone. Also with the selfie mode, you can have things like portrait mode. When I'm filming like this, looking directly at the camera with my face close to you, it's gonna really help me out and hide the little imperfections in my skin. But when I'm in the air and I'm a few feet away, it starts to really blur and just not have as nice of a quality of video. I've plugged in my light, turned it on, and it comes with this little remote with all the different colors it does. So I can do blue, I can do green, I can do purple. Ooh, that's a fun one. I haven't tried that one before. There is a white option, but if I put it on straight white, it can look blue in a video. For some reason, white often reads as a very light blue. So I've put it on yellow, which will give my skin some yellow warm tones and hopefully make me look a bit more tan. And I've pointed it straight at my hoop. It is roughly the same height as the hoop. If you put it straight onto the floor, it's like when that thing when you're a kid and you shine a flashlight under your face to look like a ghost. It's gonna give you shadows going up. And it also, if you put it on top of a bookshelf or something where it's putting down, same thing, it's gonna give you shadows going down. So if you can put it on something that is roughly the same height as you are going to be, that's ideal. I have my mantle, which is a very convenient height here. Another great thing to put it at a off the ground height would be to tape it to the back of a chair. I've often just duct taped. You can see there's some duct tape there still on it. I often have just duct taped my lights to the back of a chair. I set the chair wherever I want it in the room. That's a great hack if you don't have a mantelpiece or a table that's the right height. If you don't have an LED light, make sure you just turn on all the lights in your room. And you can also open your curtains up wide to let the maximum amount of light in from your windows. Obviously, the more lights, the better, but make sure that the brightest lights in your room are in front of you. If you have a bright light behind you, it's gonna make you look like a silhouette. So make sure that the light is significantly brighter in front of you than it is behind you. Because I'm an overachiever and obsessed with lights, I've put a little tiny LED light in my corner as well and turned it on pink, and you can see that it gives my whole setup a slightly pink tinge. You don't want to go crazy with this because people don't like to watch videos that are too colorized, but having a little bit of a pink tinge can be fun. My little mini light does all of these different colors, and it even does these effects where you can change between colors. But I have found that pink is a great one for videos because it shows up really nicely and it doesn't overpower the whole scene, and it also doesn't make me look like ill like green would. This is probably the most important tip that I have for you today, and just by itself it is going to make your videos 1000% better instantly. Always film yourself from a low angle. If I can, I put it on the floor, like directly onto the floor. The lower your camera is, the taller and longer you are going to look. Even someone like me, I'm 5'10", and I am tall in real life, but if I put my camera at the level where it's looking directly at me, I don't look it. I look much shorter and much stockier if I have the camera that's on a level with my actual body. If I put the camera below me, I start to look long, lean, my lines already look better. It makes whatever I do in the air look much, much, much better. So put the camera as low as you possibly can. I really like to wear all black in this setting because of my dark, dark soul, but also because I have a colored background. My wall is yellow, so like at the very least, I'm gonna have a yellow background, or if I have on my colored light, I'm gonna have the color of that. So the black really just stands out immediately from that. So if you have a colored background, like a colored wall, all black is a great way to go. Also try to have a clean and simple silhouette. I know we all like to be warm and cozy and bundled up when we're in the air, but think about showing the lines of your body to the camera. If you're wearing a bunch of warm-ups and thick layers like this, you miss a lot of the beautiful shapes that you're making. I also like to pull the bottoms of my leggings down over my heels. This looks really nice because the more of your leg that is one solid color, then the longer your legs are going to look. If my leg is like one solid color all the way up to my hips, then it's going to look much longer than if I have, for example, my ankle out or a 3/4 length legging. You can see it makes this leg look thicker because there's this thick horizontal line right here. I do have a color variation, but because it's both dark colors, it kind of doesn't show up so much. The optimum version of this would be long black leggings or long solid color leggings that go all the way and can hook over your heel right here. You can see the difference even more here on my full body. Having the shorter leggings just cuts off your line and it just shortens and widens your legs quite a bit. So if you have a nice long solid colored legging that comes all the way down as far as possible, and even maybe a high waist, that's going to extend the line of your legs and make them look really long and graceful in the air. Also think about if you have long hair, whether you want to have your hair up or down. If you're doing more bendy, contortion-y movements, a lot of times it's really nice to have your hair up so that it shows off the flexibility of your body. Or if you're me and you're trying to fake like your back is more flexible than it is, having hair down can really add to that. If you're going to be upside down or moving from upside down to right side up quite a lot in whatever combo or routine you're doing, maybe pinning back this part of your hair is a good idea because it is easy to end up with this. No one wants this. This is not cute. No one's watching this on Instagram unless you have a very specific preference. It doesn't really make a big difference whether you're filming vertical or horizontal. Keep in mind what you're going to use the video for. If it's YouTube, it needs to be horizontal. Unless you're doing a YouTube short, then it's vertical. Instagram and TikTok are of course vertical. So just bear in mind what you're gonna do. I wouldn't recommend filming either vertical or horizontal and then trying to crop it to be the other one, because it's just gonna mess up the quality of your video. It's just gonna be a pain. So even if you have to film something twice, like once for YouTube, once for Instagram, that's probably just gonna be easier than trying to crop later on. Thanks so much for watching. I hope that this video inspires you to make some beautiful videos and visual art yourself. If it does and you post it online, let me know because I would love to see it. Make sure that you tag me so that I can check it out. Please remember to subscribe to my channel because I am doing 2 videos a week. Normally I try to do a tutorial for a specific move on Wednesdays, and then on Saturdays do a video that's a little bit more like this with a concept or general tips for something about aerial or movement or fitness or whatever you guys are interested in. And again, let me know if you have a request because I love new video ideas. Thanks again for watching, and I will see you next time. What are you even doing?